Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Josh,
I'm Tyler.
and you're here at Kings React. And today we're reacting to another Honest Gaming history video. Who is Sephiroth? Now, to be honest, we just started playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, so it's obvious that this might give away some story elements. But I mean, to be honest, this guy knows most stuff about the Final Fantasy series, so it's whatever.
Not most stuff.
He's already spoiled some things for me already, so it doesn't really matter.
Yo, Conscience, guess who they just threw into Smash?
Who? Please don't tell me it's Goku. I swear to God, if those weebs won and got Goku in this game, I'm a...
No, it's Sephiroth.
Oh, word? That's fire! So you know what we gotta do now, right?
What?
We gotta cover it. We gotta tell the story of Sephiroth.
But what happened to not covering crazy stories?
Man, screw all that. It's not every day that Square Enix drops a character like Sephiroth into a game outside of their domain. And this is Smash, bro. This just made Smash Ultimate one of the wildest competitive games out there. We gotta educate the people who don't know and remind the people who already know about the realness that is Samurai Jesus.
I don't know, Conscience. Sephiroth is kinda...
Doji, think of it like this. This announcement is Sakurai sending you a spiritual message to stop being a wuss and cover my boy.
Now I'm motivated. Play that intro, son. Well, guess what, fam? We have another sponsor. From the same group who brought you Genshin Impact, this video sponsor is Honkai Impact 3rd. You know, I never hear people say the third part. That's right, folks, it's the original waifu Impact. So here's the story. There's this thing called Honkai. It's the embodiment of chaos and it's messing with Earth. But it's all good, because that's where the waifus come in. These girls called Valkyries have the power to counter the malevolent force, and it is up to you as the player to command these Valkyries. I feel like the game speaks for itself at this point. It's a beautiful looking 3D action RPG that's available on both mobile and PC. So you can enjoy it on your phone, then return home and play it on the big screen. There are a bunch of dope waifus to collect, like the newly added Durando. She's a master of Western martial arts, and she can materialize any weapon thanks to her nearly endless energy tank built in the armor. And the new version will be giving away Mei in this fire outfit for free. So with all the rich activities provided, check out the game. It's free to play, and the link is in the description below. In the new version 4.4, logging in for 7 days grants you 120 crystals, asterite, and battlesuit fragments for free. What's more, when the new event, Sage of Aurelia, launches, you can complete daily missions to earn points to redeem for up to 1,200 crystals. And in the description, there's another code that gives you even more free crystals. So you're not only getting this dope gameplay and these beautiful waifus, but you're also getting a whole bunch of free stuff to start your Honkai Impact journey. But with that, let's get back to the video.
I mean, they definitely seem a lot more powerful than the characters in Genshin Impact. I played a little bit of that game. To be honest, some of the attacks kind of seem a little rigid, in my opinion.
And thank you, Honkai Impact, for the sponsor.
The screwed up story of Sephiroth begins with the Shinra Electric Power Company. This is the industrial enterprise that provides a region of Midgar with this energy resource, which is called Mako. They're basically your standard electric company, but secretly evil as shit.
Along with distributing Mako energy, Shinra is working on space travel, weapon manufacturing, and trying to dominate the world. Cause you know, why not?
But what is the one thing that all secretly evil organizations need to have? Goddamn super soldiers.
Within Shinra, their top scientist, Professor Gast, along with his two assistants, Hojo and Lucrecia, were studying an alien named Genova. They found remnants of this alien in a place called the North Crater, but Gast incorrectly classified it as a Cetra. Now the Cetra, also known as the Ancients, are a near extinct race of beings who could interact with the life stream, which is the life force of the planet. They thrived here a while ago, but ironically enough, they were killed off by Genova when it crash landed on the planet and tried to destroy it. So mistaking Genova for a Cetra is a pretty big deal.
This is why you fact check, bruh.
So with the assumption that Genova was an ancient, they begin their experiments under the name the Genova Project.
Their goal with this project is to create a human Cetra hybrid who can lead them to the Promised Land.
And the Promised Land is a fabled place that the ancient spoke of, which is said to hold limitless Mako.
So I'm sure you guys can see why they want to get to this place that may not be real. Too bad they're experimenting with an extraterrestrial terrorist.
Facts. So while this project is going on, Hojo knocks Lucrecia up. By the way, the story behind this whole situation is wild, but needs to be saved for the Vincent video we're doing in the future.
While his girl is pregnant, this wild man Hojo...
Wait.
Saved for the Vincent video we're doing in the future.
While his...
So, hang on. Let me get this straight. This woman right here, this obviously beautiful woman right here, Hooked up with this hatchet face man. You gotta be kidding me.
His girl is pregnant, this wild man Hojo injects her with Genova's cells. Cause fuck your baby's health.
From this, baby Sephiroth is born. He's immediately taken in by Shinra to continue their testing, but they find out that he has no sexual properties.
Just how they have him look right here, he kind of looks like a Kingdom Hearts character.
Gee, I wonder why.
But his physical abilities are out of this world, thanks to Genova's cells. So Shinra's like, screw it, let's train him to be the ultimate super soldier.
So Seph Bro trains for years with Shinra, without being told about how he was born. He ends up claiming Genova as his mom, and ironically enough, he grows to hate Hojo, his real father, and grows to highly respect Professor Gast. Poor kid probably wants Gast to be his father, but Shinra's looking for super soldiers, not sons.
As his training progresses, he ends up joining Shinra's military force, named Soldier, and this is where he becomes a problem.
He masters 2 forms of real Japanese martial arts with his katana, and basically becomes a hypercarry of Shinra.
Bro, the dude gets so broken that when Shinra gets into a war with the nation of Wutai, he pretty much secures the win by himself.
To be honest, that whole just one slice, one kill thing, it kind of reminds me of, could you compare him to Zoro or Hawkeye Mihawk? No,
Yeah.
Mihawk, yeah.
My man walked into the place like, Omae wa mo shinderu.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
His efforts in the war raise him to the rank of Soldier First Class. He becomes a war hero and an inspiration for the people in and out of Soldier.
Younger boys from Midgar want to be as cool as Seph Dog, so many join Soldier with the hopes of one day getting to his level. Among these boys is Cloud Strife, but we'll get into him later.
The people that we will get into are Sephiroth's 2 friends that he made during the war, Genesis and Angel.
These 3 are the best at Soldier. Like, they're so good, they have to train on their own because no one else at Soldier can handle the flex.
There was this one battle they had in Crisis Core that was the most gangsta shit you could ever see on the screen of a PSP.
Yeah, the battle was so fucking real that you'd assume they were actually trying to kill each other.
Well, Genesis might have been. You see, this kid was also born from Genova's cells. However, he was part of some sub-project of Project Genova called Project G. Project G was being led by Dr. Hollander. But get this, when Genesis was born, Dr. Hojo deemed Sephiroth as a better project, so Project G was shut down.
How they gonna shut down this boy's whole career before he even has a career?
Right? So Genesis has been jealous of pretty boy Sephi ever since he saw the dude flex on Wutai. However, he still has respect for the guy, so their relationship is pretty weird.
And Gio, on the other hand, is way less edgy than Genesis. He was also born from the Genova Project, and he's also not on Sephiroth's level. So basically think of Angel as a stoic Rock Lee, Genesis as an even more dramatic Sasuke, and Sephiroth as Neji, with like the nine-tailed fox inside of him, and the Rinnegan.
Anyways, that whole training session they had,
Oh god, to be honest, that's too OP. That's too OP. Like, seriously, having the just having the Byakugan and Kurama, dude, that's too OP.
With like the nine-tailed fox inside of him, and the Rinnegan.
anyways, that whole training
And the Rinnegan.
Like, yeah, but just imagine that. Like, imagine having the Byakugan, the Rinnegan, and Kurama just like inside of you. Like, well, I don't think anyone can handle that. I feel like that's the equivalent of someone trying to have 2 like devil fruit abilities, but they're not Blackbeard, so they literally just explode.
session they had ends with Angel stopping Genesis and Sephiroth. Genesis is feeling a little salty about the loss, but he won't act on that saltiness till later.
After a few months, the anti-Shinra group known as Avalanche raid the city of Junon, so Sephiroth is sent to stop the nonsense. There he confronts the Avalanche leader named Elf, who asks him if he fights for a reason. This confrontation causes a huge shift in Sephiroth's psyche, because up until now, he was just fighting because Shinra told him to. He's a mindless soldier and he's just now realizing that.
Later, Sephiroth runs into Angeal's apprentice, Zack, when he saves him from Ifrit. If you want to find out more about him, we already created a long-ass video covering his story.
After saving the young soldier, Sephi finds out 2 very disturbing things. For one, his bro Genesis and Dr. Hollander defected from Shinra, and now the doctor is making clones of Genesis to fight against Shinra.
As for the second thing, Angel mysteriously defected from Shinra as well, so this leaves both Zack and Sephiroth very confused.
As time goes on, Sephiroth continues to help Shinra in both the fight against Avalanche and this new war against the Genesis clones. And as he finds out more about Shinra through these wars, his feelings start to get mixed. He starts questioning himself and stays as far away from Genesis and Angel-related missions as possible. But eventually, Destiny begins pulling the 3 back together.
The Shinra building gets attacked, and Zack, who is now ranked first class, and Sephiroth are the only guys who can defend the place.
They find out that the intruders are Angeal and Genesis clones, meaning that Angeal must have sided with Genesis and Dr. Hollander. But Sephiroth doesn't want to just go and kill them, so he and Zack agree to let them go, so they can eventually talk them out of the craziness.
Afterwards, the two do more digging, and Sephiroth finds out about Project G, the project that gave birth to Genesis. He also finds out that Genesis is slowly degrading because of his birth, so it looks like he's siding with Hollander so he can get a cure.
Upon discovering this, Hollander shows up along with Genesis. Zack goes to chase after the doctor, while Sephiroth holds off his edgelord friend. But before Zack could get to the doctor, Angeal shows up and smacks the boy to the Sector 5 slums, so he, the doctor, and Genesis can escape.
While Zack chills in the slums with this girl he just met named Aerith, Sephiroth continues to look into Project G. He still has questions, and he's trying to figure out what the hell Shinra has been up to.
But before discovering anything, Genesis attacks Shinra again. Sephiroth defends the place with the help of Zack, and surprisingly Angeal, who's assigned to be a good guy for now. But after all the battling, everyone but Zack just kinda disappears. Eventually, Zack is forced to kill Angeal because Hollander tells him the truth about what he is, and he loses it. Then Sephiroth confronts Zack once again.
He basically tells the kid that even with Angeal dead, Genesis' problem is still a thing. On top of that, it looks like people are just deserting Soldier, so that's not good. Then when they meet up again later on, he tells Zack that depending on how things go from here on out, he may retire from Shinra. And this is where things start to turn up.
Sephiroth is tasked with investigating a monster issue near the Mako reactor in the town of Nibelheim. He goes there with Zack and someone from Nibelheim, Cloud. Upon entering the town, the party has a conversation about family, and Sephiroth mentions that his mother's name is Jenova. Now Zack heard about the Jenova project, so when he hears Sephiroth say that Jenova is his mother, he gets hella suspicious. Later, at the Mako reactor, Sephdog and Zack come across pods containing monsters. There, Sephiroth reveals that these monsters are members of Soldier, who were mutated by Dr. Hojo.
Then Sephiroth has a mental breakdown when he realizes that he could be one of these monsters. He begins to question his humanity. Then Genesis comes out of nowhere to make shit worse. His old friend just drops the bomb that is the Jenova project. And
I mean, to be honest, he is technically still human. He just has the cells of Jenova inside of him. That's basically what turned him into that.
confirms the belief he has of being a monster. My man came in and was like, wish I could help your mental breakdown, but yeah, you're dead a monster.
Then this dude has the nerve to ask Sephiroth for some of his cells, like some bum in Harlem. Spare Jenova cells? Could you please spare some Jenova cells?
He literally just told him that he was a monster, and now he's basically begging him to help him. Like, how do you do that? You know, has he ever heard of the term, what goes around comes around?
But Sephiroth's like, spare these nuts, bitch, then bounces, telling his last friend to rot.
Now this whole revelation really fucked with Sephiroth, because while he doesn't want to be a monster, this would answer why he is the way he is. So he starts doing research. Then he goes off the deep end.
Our boy goes to a manor and starts looking into Shinra's false research about Jenova. And since he's reading fake news, he gets the wrong information. He assumes that he is half Sentra, since the research falsely claims Jenova's a Sentra. Then my man comes to believe that the humans abandoned the Sentra a while back, leaving them to handle the calamity that was actually Jenova. Now Sephiroth, you know the fam fucks with you, and I know the only education you've had was in Hansology. But nothing about that story seem off to you, bro?
Hey, you said Hansology.
Yeah, shut up. It fit the situation, so I said it. So with false info screwing with the soldier's already fucked up mind, Sephiroth completely loses it. He declares vengeance on humans even though they didn't do anything, then burns Nibelheim to the goddamn ground.
In the process, he kills mad people, including Tifa's father.
Zack busts out his motel, confused as fuck. He was just sleeping. How did Nibelheim get on fire?
Meanwhile, Sephiroth is at the Mako reactor, talking to the body of Jenova that is being held there.
Zack confronts him, but Sephi lays him out. Then Cloud comes in with Zack's Buster Sword and stabs Sephiroth. But Sephiroth,
To be honest, how he just kind of shoved him off like that reminded me. It just kind of reminded me of that moment in Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Crap.
Yes, it was Fallen Order.
Yeah, with just literally just how Darth Vader just kind of brushed Seer off like she was just a mosquito or something. I don't know how the heck she survived that, but Darth Vader full on just brushed her off like she was a mosquito. A mosquito. Like, I don't know how that guy can be that OP, and yet somehow the first person, like the first only person at the time who could beat him was Galen Merrick. Like, that guy...
Unfortunately, that's not canon anymore.
eats that.
Oh my god.
It's he was from the Legends comic.
That's stupid. Disney has Like, to be honest,
Let's
Disney.
not talk about that.
Yeah, well, I know we're talking about Final Fantasy, but I'm just saying Disney has ruined Star Wars. Like, didn't they say that the Legends comics are now canon thanks to Dave Filoni?
Thank John Favreau and Dave Filoni. Let's not worry about that.
That shit, bro. He couches the kid, then stabs him with 7 feet of blade.
But then, Cloud is overcome with the power of anime perseverance and somehow tanks the hit and throws Sephiroth deeper into the Mako reactor. Cause he's Soldier, damn it!
So with Genova's head in hand, because I guess he thinks it's cool to just hold his mom's head, he falls into the live stream. And this is where his story should come to an end. No one should survive this. But using pure willpower, he survives and even travels within the live stream.
While Sephiroth has his fun gaining knowledge and power within the planet's core, Zack and Cloud get taken in by Hojo and are injected with Genova's cells. And since Shinra had no idea what happened to Sephiroth, they declared him killed in action and rebuilt Nibelheim to cover up the incident. Well, that's sus.
Eventually, at the North Crater, Sephiroth's body is reformed in a Mako-infused cocoon. However, now his plans have changed.
Vengeance on humanity was too simple. It was too primitive. Now he wants to fuse with the live stream and straight up become God. Yo, just a few months ago, this guy was a pretty chill soldier.
See what happens when you go into a rabbit hole of fake news? Check your sources, people. Don't be a Sephiroth.
Or a Shinra.
Facts.
So Sephiroth has these huge plans of attaining godhood. But how is he gonna do that stuck in a cocoon? Well, you remember how Shinra was injecting soldiers with Genova's cells? Well, now Sephiroth can control those cells, thus forcing his will on anyone with those cells. So 5 years after his death in Final Fantasy VII, he puts out a call for all the people infused with his mother's cells to come to the North Crater. To make things easier, we'll call these guys Sephiroth clones.
At this point, Cloud is working with the new Avalanche, which includes Barrett and Tifa. However, his memory of what happened at Nibelheim is spotty, and he thinks that he's Soldier First Class.
During a mission where they invade the Shinra building to save their friend Aerith, who was actually a Cetra by the way, Genova's body morphs into a Sephiroth clone and kills President Shinra.
He tells the dude that Shinra has no right trying to get to the Promised Land. Then he dips.
When Cloud and friends find the murder scene, he realizes that Sephiroth is still alive and vows to find him so he can take him out for real this time. But what he thinks is vengeance is mostly Sephiroth instilling his will on the poor and knowing soldier and telling him to come to him. So throughout their quest to stop Shinra and find Sephiroth, they constantly get attacked by Sephiroth clones, who each allude to what their main mission is in a vague way. But it's not until the good guys meet him at the Temple of the Ancients, where he tells them the full extent of his crazy plans. This man wants to acquire black materia to use the ultimate destructive magic, Meteor, so he can attack and injure the world. By doing this, the live stream will come to heal the wound, and he'll be in a position where he can merge with it.
I feel like the Vengeance on Humanity idea was better. Let's go back to that.
So when the good guys find this out, they're obviously like, we can't have that. Sephiroth is wildin'. So they find the black materia before Sephiroth does. But because of Sephiroth's hold on Cloud, he hands it over to a Sephiroth clone.
By the way, if you look to get deeper into Cloud's story, because we're honestly glossing over a lot to focus on Sephiroth, I actually made a video about his story too if you guys want to check that out.
Anyways, with the black materia in the hands of the person who really shouldn't have it, all hope seems lost. But Aerith is an ancient, meaning she's like the white mage of the planet.
The party finds out about the strongest white magic spell called Holy, and they go to the Forgotten City so Aerith can cast it.
But Sephiroth peeps the schemes and sends a clone to kill her,
thus leaving us and Cloud depressed and even more ready to kill this man.
They eventually kill the clone who had the black materia and take it back, but this time Cloud gives it to someone else for safekeeping, since they don't know when Sephiroth might snatch up his mind again.
Too bad that time is now. As Tifa and Cloud get closer to the location of Sephiroth's true body, Cloud's hit with an illusion that shows him the truth about his life, but makes it way more screwed up.
He's not Soldier First Class. He's a random foot soldier who got caught up in that Nibelheim mess. And the person he thinks he is Zack, who actually died trying to save him. But Sephiroth spruces this up a bit by lying and telling Cloud that he's not even really Cloud. He's just a Sephiroth clone who took up the identity of Cloud. So because Sephiroth was hit with fake news, he's gonna be out here delivering fake news too?
This revelation literally breaks Cloud's mind. Against his better judgment, he hands the black materia to Sephiroth's true body.
With that, Sephiroth begins to enact his plan. But the planet reacts to his plans and summons huge monsters simply known as the weapons.
As the good guys find ways to deal with these weapons, Sephiroth prepares for his meteor to arrive. Cloud eventually breaks out of his identity crisis after discovering his true backstory thanks to Tifa. Then with the help of Shinra, Cloud and his party manage to get to Sephiroth and defeat him before the meteor comes.
However, Sephiroth still has his will. He engages Cloud in a final fight in the boy's mind as a last-ditch effort to seize it. But with a better sense of self, Cloud beats Sephiroth in a 1v1.
Now with Sephiroth defeated, Holy activates and destroys the meteor before it's able to hit the planet. But guess what, fam? This man still ain't done! This ain't it, Chief!
Him falling into the live stream infects it with Genova cells, thus giving anyone who came in contact with it a new disease called geostigma. My man got mad and straight gave the planet's life force COVID.
Not only that, focusing on his pure hatred
Why? I mean, to be honest, it's not even that funny. Just because we're laughing at it doesn't mean it's funny. But, yeah, just because we're laughing at it doesn't mean it's funny. But, he didn't need to make that joke.
of Cloud and how other spirits see him in the live stream, he creates 3 physical avatars who embody his will, named Kadaj, Laz, and Yazoo.
This is where we get into FF.
Oh, okay, so, yeah, he basically pulled a Xehanort from Kingdom Hearts.
Technically, Kingdom Hearts.
Shut up!
Yeah, I think Kingdom Hearts kind of ripped off this.
Oh, yeah. Wait, what came out first?
Final Fantasy.
Yeah. Well, Final Fantasy VII, did that particularly come out first?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Well,
7 Advent Children. These remnants of Sephiroth, as they're called, dead pull up from the live stream and start looking for what's left of Genova.
They succeed when Kadaj morphs into Sephiroth after absorbing some of Genova's cells.
This new Sephiroth confronts Cloud once again, with his new plan being to taint the live stream to the point where he can control it. My man, can you chill with giving the planet AIDS? Please!
Luckily, Cloud beats him again, but as he dies, he says that he'll never be a memory.
Meaning that he's probably still chilling in the live stream, waiting for his chance to fuck with Cloud again. But that is the story of Sephiroth. The sad tale of a man who only used smoke, lost both of his friends due to shit out of his control, and developed an unhealthy god complex all because he was only treated like a weapon.
Damn, when you put it like that, I kinda feel for Sephiroth.
I mean, you should. If you think about it, Sephiroth only went down this path because of Shinra. If he got taken care of by his actual mother and was told the truth about his birth from jump, a lot of this shit wouldn't have happened. The real villain of Final Fantasy VII isn't Sephiroth. It's Shinra, with their bad parenting and their lack of fact-checking. Like Jesus!
Yeah, I feel that. Also, as you guys probably know, Sephiroth's story slightly changes in the remake, and with how part 1 went, I'm pretty sure it's gonna change a lot in part 2. So if you'd like us to recap part 1, let us know in the comments.
But with that, end screen.
Well,
that was informative.
yeah, and like we said, I mean, the game's already been played by this point. Like, we haven't played it, but
But like he did say there were some alterations to the story in the remake.
yeah, so all that's, like, for all we know, like, she may not even die in part 2. You never know. She may not even die.
Yeah.
That they could probably change that.
Yeah. But other than that, we'll see you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Please like, subscribe.
Oh yeah, we forgot to say that at the end of last video. Like, subscribe, and share the video. Don't forget to share. Bye.
Bye.